Welcome to the Brasa template. This is one of the best templates for fast food that is on the marketplace because this is a beautiful design template with some cool animations. Also, we created this template using the variables, so it's very easy for you to update the headings, the colors, and also to update sizes. Another thing about this template is that we created using client first. Client first is the most popular and used style system out there for Webflow. So it's very easy to update everything, even if you are not an expert on Webflow. And if you know client first already, it will be even easier for you to make any type of updates that you want. This template also includes a Figma file, as you can see here. So in order to get your Figma file, you need to access template.supply/Figma, and you see some page like this. Here you can just drag and drop your file, which is your template invoice. There is this small video showing you how you can get your template invoice. Very easy, it's just a PDF. And after that, after uploading here, you'll see a button where you can click to go to the Figma file. When accessing the Figma file, you'll see a screen something like that, but instead of just clicking to request access, just look for the file name, click on the arrow, and you'll see something like duplicate to your drafts or something like that. This way you can save your own copy and start making your own edits. Just a quick overview about the Figma file. We have a component library with some web assets, all the headings, styles, text styles, colors, and also the components that we are using across the pages. Of course, we have all the pages here of the template, not only desktop, but also mobile. So it's a very robust and good Figma file, so you can just update, and maybe you deliver this to your client if you are creating this website using this template for a client, or even you just want to use Figma first before jumping into Webflow. You can do that with this very complete and robust Figma file for the Brasa template. Another thing is that I always recommend you taking a look at university.webflow.com if you are not familiar with Webflow, or if you are a beginner user, I highly recommend you to take a look. You can just click here to access all the courses. All of them are free. So you can just search for Webflow 101. This one covers all the basics that you need, just so you don't get lost when editing the template. Of course, I'll teach you how you can just update texts and images and other things here on this video, but if you want to have more knowledge, which I highly recommend, you can just watch this course, and then you have more power to edit this template and also to edit anything you want inside Webflow. Now, before editing the template, let's just create a backup. You can access the design screen, and here you can click on settings, backups, and here you can just create a new backup. So let's just create a testing backup. Let's save it. And after clicking on save, you just need to click on other tab, and then when you go back, you'll see your backup here. So this way, if you make some edits that you don't know how to revert or how to go back, you can always access that backup here. Click on these three dots and then restore backup. In this way, you revert that change that you don't want to keep. Now let's update the images on the template. Updating images is very easy. You can just double click them and click here to replace the image. You can see your assets here, and you can also, of course, upload a new image right here. But as you can see here, we are at the home page, and we have like the second image and this third image. And if you access here your screen, you are seeing only the first image, right? So how can you actually select the other images in order to update them? For this, you need to use the navigator. So basically, the navigator is displaying all the elements that are on this page, including, of course, the ones that are not visible. So we just need to search here. Let's start to expand the elements here. And then we just need to search for the actually image that we have on this section, right? So you can identify that is an image by this image icon. And if you select the element and click here on the settings, you can see the image that you are selecting. So here we are selecting the first image, but if you click here, we can select the second image and the third image. So this goes for anything that is not visible right away, including texts, but especially images that are not visible right away on the template. You can just use the navigator here and start to search them. You can look for the name of the elements. That will give you a pretty good idea of where are you clicking and what type of elements you are selecting. Also, if you access, let's say, the block, you have here some elements that are CMS. You can notice that by this purple color, right? So every time you have this purple color on the elements, this means that this is a CMS element. So for the CMS image, like block images, let's just use this tab of CMS. And here, of course, we have the collections for blog posts and locations. And we can just click on the items or even create new items. And here we can just replace or even upload our image. For updating the links on the buttons, let's just access the home page again. As you can see here, this is a button, and I just created this button as a component just to make your life easier. So as you can see here, when you select this button, you have a few options. First one is the color of the background, the button. But here you can just change the link to whatever you want, right? Also, you can change the text of this button. It's pretty straightforward, so it's very easy to update. Now let's learn how to update the colors. For the colors, we are using the variables. So you need to click here on the variables and click on the colors collection. It's very simple. Again, you can just click here and select the color that you want. My only advice here is to be careful when updating the colors, because if you have, let's say, you have a light color like this color here, right? If you change to a very dark color, and it can be another color, but anyway, just something very dark, you'll probably have a lot of issues with the contrast, right? So always be careful when updating the colors here, just to make sure you don't have this type of errors. Also, if you want to, let's say, change the color of this text, let's say we want to change it for some red, right? So just remind that I'm using the client first. So this is actually a practice for updating text colors on client first. So what I will do is that I will select the heading, I will create a new div, I will use the navigator for getting this div as a parent of this heading. And here with the div block, I'll just create a new class, call it text-color-red. All right, now with this class created, I can go here into the typography color, and here I can change to the actual red color. So that's the best way to update colors in the template, right? So just create, and of course, if you want to reuse this for other section, you can just copy and paste the same class, right? So let's say you want to change the color of this element, just create a new div block here, same process. Let's put the heading inside this div block, and here we can just use the same class, and boom, there you go. We can reuse this class across the website. So use this for creating and changing the color of the text, right? You can again find more info about that, just accessing thinksuite.com/client-first. And here, if you click on read the docs, you can see all about that, including, of course, the variables and the colors strategy that client first uses. Updating the texts here is very easy as well. We can just double click and change to whatever we want. Let's say fries here, and there we go. If you access the about page, you can notice that, let's just preview. You can notice that we have some texts that kind of like rotate here, right? And same as the image on the homepage header, we cannot like access this text right away. We can just access the first one, right? So how can we update the other texts? It works just like the image that I just showed. We just need to open the navigator, and here we start to search for the text element, right? We can just see that this is a text element by the icon. And If you select and again go to settings, you can see the text that you are selecting. So here also, of course, you can change this to the text that you want. Let's just say good flavors, and then let's just preview. And there we go. We now change the text and update it to good flavors. So that's how we update text that is not visible right away on the page. For the blog content, use again the CMS tab here to update. So if you click here, you can update the content of the blog post right here, along with, of course, other information. Now let's say you want to change the size of a heading, right? So how you can do that? So again, I'm following just client first here. So you can just select the heading, right? You can just delete this class and you type heading style, and then here you can just select the heading that you want, right? So if you just select H1 here, then it will be the style that is set for heading H1. If you want to change this for maybe H5, we can do that as well, and there you go. That's how you change the size of the headings. For the text size, and by text size I mean the paragraph size, let's just create a new paragraph here. Then we can just use text dash size dash, and here we already have some pre-built sizes from client first, right? So that's how you change the text size. Now let's say you are creating a new section, right? And we have some heading, and then we have some paragraph, right? Let's say you want to set some space between these elements. Again, we can just use some class from client first. You can just add a new div block, and here you just type spacer, and then of course you have a lot of spacers to use here with a lot of different sizes that you can use. So you can just use spacer large, or if you want something really huge, you can use spacer X huge. And maybe right now you're wondering, where can you find all this class? Again, you can just access the style guide, and you have all the classes that client first uses, and of course the class that we are using on this project. So we have all the text size that I just showed you. We have all the headings here as well. We also have here the spacer classes, so you can actually see in a visual way how much space it's attached to each one of these classes. Another thing you might notice is that if you access here the sizes, we are using rams, right? So maybe you're wondering, okay, so why we are not using pixels, if pixels are much easier to work? And it's true, pixels are much easier to work, but in order to provide a good accessibility on the website, we need to use rams. Just to give you a quick example, if the user accesses the browser settings and change on the appearance the font size, if your website it's using pixels, nothing will happen. So the website's element size will stay the same. But if you're using rams, then of course, if the user change the browser settings, then the website will change accordingly. So this is very good for accessibility, and that's why we're using rams. You can access this page from the docs if you want to read and understand everything about rams and how we are using rams, and maybe how you can calculate. But again, just to give you a quick math, so basically 1 RAM is equal to 16 pixels, right? So if you want to, let's say you want to set 96 pixels, you can just divide by 16, and then we have the RAM's value. Or of course, if you have some value in RAMs and you want to convert for pixels, just multiply by 60, right? So the 2 RAMs are equal to 32 pixels. That's how you do the math for converting RAMs to pixels. You don't need to actually know that or memorize that. I just want to explain for you why we are using RAMs here for the sites. That's pretty much it. I tried to be as fast as I could, but it's hard because there are a lot of things to teach you, but I hope this video was helpful. You can always get in touch with us. You can access template.supply/support, and here you have this form where you can ask for help. Maybe you need some help for customization of the template. We are here to help you, or maybe you need some guidance on how to learn some feature from Webflow. Again, we are here for you. I want to be transparent with you and say that we offer a basic support. So that means that if you need this that I just said right now, which is just helping with updating the content, like the image, text, and then of course we'll be ready to record some looms and teach you how to do that. So it's covered already on the purchase that you did. But if you need some advanced support, and by advanced support I mean the creation of new sections or new pages, then this is not covered in our basic support. So in that case, you might need to get the help of a webflow expert to help you do this type of advanced edits. But again, we created this template and of course this video tutorial to make your life easier, so you can be able to actually update the content by yourself. But anyway, if you need some help, just send us a message right here. And don't forget to check the other templates that we have. By the time you're watching this video, maybe you have a lot more templates, right? So we have a lot of categories. And if you have some suggestions for type of templates that you like to see here, just again, send us a support message and we'll get back to you. Thanks for watching, and thank you for purchasing the Brasa template. Let us know if you need any help with anything, and then we'll be ready for you. See you. Bye.